Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed, lab-proven to work fast, and proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Hello and welcome to Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys. My name is Hunter. In this podcast, I'll be joined by a different guest each week to discuss a classic Western movie or TV show. I've been a fan of classic Westerns for as long as I can remember, and in recent years, they've become very nostalgic for me. I love the aesthetic, the tropes, and I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on them. At their best, they're incredibly entertaining, rewatchable, and some of my all-time favorite movies are Westerns. We'll mostly focus on Western movies made in Hollywood, but we'll also be covering spaghetti Westerns, and one thing I'm very excited to get into are Western TV shows. I've got some amazing guests coming on the show, film professors, historians, and podcasters. And Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys is part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, and many guests on the show will be from other shows on the network. Thanks for listening.
We deal in paint, pigment, light and shadow, realism, surrealism, impressionism, and ghost stories.
An interest in the oddball, a predilection toward the bizarre. And this place is nothing if it isn't bizarre.
There's no admission, no requirement of membership, only a strong and abiding belief in the dark at the top of the stairs, or things that go bump in the night. The name of this place, should you have come in here accidentally out of the rain, is the Night Gallery.
Welcome back, art lovers, to Midnight Viewing, the Night Gallery podcast, where we discuss Night Gallery, Rod Serling's follow-up to The Twilight Zone. I'm Father Malone, and with me here in the gallery are the projection booth's Mike White.
Wow. Have you seen my tambourine?
And the Culture Cast, Chris Stashew.
Don't you know you're supposed to remove your hat around a lady?
And we are discussing Season 2, Episode 11, which aired on December the 1st, 1971. This episode is split into 3 segments. Those are Pickman's Model, The Dear Departed, and An Act of Chivalry.
H.P. Lovecraft, known to the aficionados of the occult, demonology, witchcraft, as a master storyteller, is responsible for our first selection in this museum of the frequently morbid. To you connoisseurs of the black arts, you'll probably recognize it. It's a painting that tells the story of a young artist who recruits his models from odd places, and the models are very odd indeed. The painter's name, incidentally, is Pickman. The title is Pickman's Model. And where else would you see a story like this except in the Night Gallery?
All right, Pickman's Model was written by Alvin Sapinsley from a short story by H.P. Lovecraft and directed by Jack Laird, starring Bradford Dillman, who I only know from Piranha, Louise Sorel, who is in 1,000 episodes, literally no joke, 1,000 episodes of Days of Our Lives, and 1 episode of Banachek, and Donald Moffat. Oh my God.
Donald Moffat, yeah!
Unbelievably young Donald Moffat. This is a story of a young painter and his student and the horrible thing he's painting that might just be real. What'd you think of this one, Mike?
I found this interesting. It reminded me at times of a Kolchak episode I don't know why. I guess it was just because of the weird creatures. And I guess maybe Chris reminded me a little bit of the Night Strangler with this like old Seattle, but this time it's what, old Boston type of thing.
That's right, kid.
And this whole like mystery that's set up because there's a wrapper around this one. And then it reminded me of Creep Show at the very end, which segment I'm talking about, the one with Hal Holbrook. But it takes a long time to get there. Like, I wish that this one, and I sound like a broken record because I said this in the last episode, I wanted this to get to where it was going so much quicker. And they give all these explanations for why this artist quit painting. He disappeared. Oh, there was something wrong with his hand. Da, 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 da. And I don't know when they introduced the hand thing, but it took a long time for me to realize that he's got an effed up hand from his poppy. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. Better than I thought it was going to be.
How about you, Chris?
Is it weird that within the last 6 months this was adapted again?
Was it really?
Yeah, it was in Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, my friends.
Oh, wow. How does it compare?
This is way better.
Okay.
I mean, what's funny is obviously when you have the source material of H.P. Lovecraft, you're setting yourself up, I think, for success because H.P. Lovecraft is a fantastic author. So the source material is good, as they would say. The body is willing. So the source material is really good. So they have to do a lot to really fuck it up. And I don't think that they do. I think they tell an interesting story here and use the source material in an interesting way. And yeah, I've never seen Bradford Dillman in anything else, and he's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry to call you a liar, but I'm going to call you a liar right now, sir. He just got murdered on the Greenhouse Jungle episode of Columbo. But he is such a weird milquetoast actor that he could be anybody. Oh
my God, you're right.
Yeah, he has he's nothing. He's just this weird cipher because I've seen him in 1,000 things like the Mephisto Waltz or Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
He's the guy that gets murdered then, yeah?
Yeah, he was the guy that spoilers for the Greenhouse Jungle. But yeah, he has nothing to do. I think he had
spoilers for a Columbo episode 50 plus years old.
Yes. But yeah, Ray Milland knocks him off. So, yeah. But yeah,
you're
nothing.
Right. God, he's given a lot to do here. Thankfully, again, I don't think it matters rising to the occasion or not. He's fine, but we follow the female character a lot more than we follow him. So
she's definitely the protagonist. Yeah.
What about you, Father Malone? What do you think?
I liked it overall. I thought it was sufficiently creepy. I loved seeing Donald Moffat so young and just the ability. He has the ability to just spill out exposition like it's actual dialogue.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. I had to rewind it and watch it again just because nothing he's saying is essential as a character in the real world talking as a human being. It's all basically narration. And he makes it seem like it's just effortless. This episode and I'm from Boston, and this episode takes place in Boston. It's weird it doesn't take place in Arkham. It chose to set it in the north end of Boston, which is at least when I was growing up, that's the Italian section of Boston. It certainly wasn't some sort of bohemian paradise on the shore or anything. So that was a little weird. And then when they go to show us what that part of the city actually looks like, it's the European portion of the Universal backlot. So I don't know. that just really tickled me that's what that can pass. And apparently it did. I also really liked Bradford Dillman's taupe leather gloves. I'm talking a lot about costumes lately. I don't know why, but they're coming more and more apparent, like how good the work is in the costumes in this. So I like those a lot. We end up getting a ghoul, which I was so excited for. Chris, you and I have tangled with ghouls in the past over on Chronicles from the Crypt, their versions of ghouls, and we dealt with the Monster Club and their versions of ghouls, and they gave us a pretty good one here. I think the ghoul, when it finally shows up facially, it lives up to those paintings, and I think it's really terrifying.
I was so pleasantly surprised because we've talked very recently about, this thing turns into a worm and you can jump in this other room and see it, or that big spider that we saw a couple episodes ago. And it's just, these are laughable effects. So I was just going, please don't show the creature. Please don't show the creature. And then when they showed him, I was like, oh, wow. He actually looks really good. this is a great costume. The face worked. The little rat tail that he had worked. That kind of big, weird possum body that he had. I was like, they're pulling it off here, folks.
They could have shown him a little less. The skinny leg sticking out of what is like a Muppet body that he's wearing, that it turns it into a luchador flick for me for a second.
Yes.
But when the doors opened in there,
Brainiac.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was really scary. And what you were talking about earlier, the sort of the sequence that reminds you and I of the crate from Creepshow, which is the last shot of the crate is the last shot basically of this, where we get the thing's eyes like it's still there waiting. I don't know why we needed a wraparound segment in this very short episode with the bargain basement Victor Buono. That was weird. Also,
Thank you. He so reminded me of Buono. Yeah, thank you.
Is this guy renting in the wraparound segment? Because he's just claiming everything he sees. He's like, I found this painting, it's mine. And then they go into the basement and they're like, what's in there? He's, I don't know, maybe paintings. Give me that pickaxe. And he just starts, this isn't your house, man. You're just moved in.
I actually find it interesting that this episode was an episode within an episode. It's an episode with, because it's a segment within a segment within a segment, because it's a segment of this show. And then there's like 2 segments inside of it. It's very strange. I don't know if it works, because I don't know if I needed the stakes of the monster gets out again at the end. I just assumed that's what was going to happen. I don't think I needed to have it explicitly shown, because it's not that it doesn't add anything or that it somehow detracts. It's just, I don't know. It's unnecessary. It's like they sacrificed telling parts of the actual story to have these dopey wraparounds with 2 guys who we know nothing about. Other than, one of them's like, this is mine now. Like, no, dude. No, that's not how this works. That's not how renting works. I'm going to destroy the house and look for these paintings. Okay.
Yeah, it feels to me like Sapinsley wanted to get not distance from Lovecraft, but to update it in a way to make it relevant for people at the time with that wraparound. But if you're going to do that, then just do it in 1971. We don't need all the Victorian trappings to enjoy H.P. Lovecraft. It's the ideas behind it, not the time period in which it was set. That's actually a stumbling block in a lot of ways. The scene where she's exploring his studio, I thought that was really good and really tense. The Shining, where she's looking through the, I don't know, I had the same feelings. Thought that was really good. Overall, I liked this episode a whole lot. Also, early on, Jack Laird irises in on Louise Sorel to get us to another scene, and I loved that. It was great. Also, she's really bad at fake laughing. Said a lot in the episode to try and suck up to her favorite artist. Also, there was one line of dialogue he says to her, which is, "Did you not hear me when I said I had no need of human company? And could you not understand why?" I imagine H.P. Lovecraft said that a lot. To anyone in his circle, they probably heard that a few times.
I like this more than I guess my question to you guys is, do you guys like this more than the other H.P. Lovecraft story that they've done? I know they're going to do another one. The last rites of Dr. Kildare or whatever.
Just talking about all the old
gods. It's a Lovecraftian story, right? I mean, it's not a Lovecraft written story, but it's the closest this show's gotten so far to Lovecraft.
Yeah. I like this one better, I think, because the other one, that one felt like a blackout skit that went on for way too long.
Yeah, that other one was half the length of this one and was boring. This one moved right along. It was really good. I dug it.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I agree. This episode segment was a lot of fun.
And once again, Donald Moffat. Holy Lord.
Oh boy, yeah. And he was almost unrecognizable with those big old mutton chops that he had going on. But as soon as that voice started, I was just like, oh, he's going to tell her to let him.
Familiar with mediums and seances, a slightly curdling nocturnal event in which the dead come back to visit through the good offices of a middleman or woman. It's a sport that lends itself to table tappings, some ghostly manifestations that float transparently across the room, and a few distant sepulchral voices. This painting offers a new side to the familiar seance, because it tells what happens when a seance is successful, but the appearing dead isn't the one expected. Offered to you now on the Night Gallery, The Dear Departed.
Oh, it feels like forever since we had our last segment. This next segment is called The Dear Departed. This one was written by Rod Serling, based on a short story by Alice Mary Schneering, and directed by Jeff Corey. Back again. This one stars Steve Lawrence, Maureen Arthur, who was in one of my favorite episodes of The Monkees called Alias Mickey Dolenz. It also stars Harvey Lembeck, who was Eric Von Zipper in all those Funicello beach movies. And he was also in one of my favorite Monkees episodes. That was Monkees a la carte. This one is a tale of a trio of supernatural hucksters and the proper way to hold a seance. Mike, what did you think of this one?
I was frustrated by this one. I watched Nightmare Alley, both the Del Toro and the original, quite a few times over the fall when I was doing an episode on it for the projection booth. And I kept being reminded of that movie while I was watching this segment. And I have to say, there's no comparison. And just, again, I feel like a broken record, but I could really see the end coming. I just knew as soon as I figured out that Harvey Lembeck was being cuckolded by Steve Lawrence. I almost said Steve Harvey, which would be a whole different thing. Once I found that out, I was just like, oh, okay, he's going to come back. But I thought that there's a punchline, and it's like the punchline, once that happens, then the thing is over. Oh, hey, he's back. But I'm like, no, he needs to be there and make their lives miserable. And it felt like it was 80% of the setup and 20% of the payoff, or maybe even 90-10, and it should have been much more like 50-50. Get to him dying a lot faster. We don't need to have all this stuff. And yeah, I don't know who would be fooled by these seances either. And I was just like, oh, cool. He's actually back as a ghost. The ghost of Eric Von Zipper. And man, oh man, did Harvey Lembeck start to look real old real quick. Not that he was a spring chicken. And
real quick. Oh my God. Unrecognizable almost. The voice obviously snaps us back to who exactly this guy is, but at the same time wouldn't have picked him out of a lineup.
No, he used to look like a young Buddy Hackett, and then he got real old. Yeah.
No, I completely agree with Mike. It's strange because you would think more of the payoff would be the focus of the episode, and the payoff is 2 seconds. Not even exaggerating, less than 2 seconds. I don't understand the setup being 99% of the episode, because the payoff is nothing.
Right.
There is no payoff at all. Everyone is doing fine. I don't know. We've seen this before. In Tales from the Crypt, we saw this with what's the actor from Animal House, and I think it's Catherine Moriarty even.
Peter Riegert?
No, the one who plays the dean.
Oh, John Vernon.
Oh, John Vernon. And I think that episode is aptly titled Seance, even, if memory serves. So we've seen this before, and this isn't very good, but it is in the same ballpark of all of these other kinds of seance, con men seance things, because apparently there's no such thing as a real seance. In entertainment, they're all con men all the time.
Yeah, and I love a seance scam. Those are great, like Family Plot or Seance on a Wet Afternoon. Even that Ouija movie, that prequel, where they said it in the 70s, and that was all about a psychic scam artist. I love all of that. And this one started out promising, even though it was some Haunted Mansion shit they were trying to peddle on these rubes, the floating tambourine.
Oh. And that is exactly what I thought of. Thank you so much. Let us know you're here by ringing a bell.
I did write this note. They're falling for a mannequin head with crepe tendrils.
Yes.
Wow. But, okay.
How macabre.
These people are desperate and grief-stricken. We'll give it a pass there, but ultimately what ends up happening is what you guys have already described, which is this feels like the first act of an episode of Night Gallery, and instead it just ends, and is it an implied threat that he's now going to kill them? Because otherwise, I don't see how this is a detriment. They have a genuine ghost now in their little medium act. They can make a fortune.
Right. I mean, yeah, because he doesn't come back and it's just like, hey, you've been cheating on me with my wife, or like, That would be great. It comes back and haunts them, and just like becomes like when Patrick Swayze's trying to get Whoopi Goldberg to go talk to Demi Moore, that whole like where he's singing Henry VIII over and over again. That would be great if he's just there torturing these people for having screwed him over in real life.
But we don't get anything like that.
No.
We don't get any payoff at all. He just appears and we're like, okay, we knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got here? And I enjoyed this episode exactly till the moment where Harvey Lembeck spills out this thing like, I'm not good enough for you guys. You should go on without me. You don't need me. Then it became obvious we were watching another Rod Serling episode. That just, overly dramatic. Basically like a retirement speech. Also,
Rod wants a cross and he loves to nail himself to it all the time. Woe is me! Woe is me! Shut the fuck up. It returns all the time. It's like ever present in Serling's. Serling's episodes of this show always feel very tongue clucking.
he's got to have the downtrodden everyman. But this particular everyman, is he just like incredibly needy that he's acting out this way, or does he feel outclassed? It's not like Steve Lawrence doesn't actually need him. And speaking of which, they're having an affair behind his back, but he's in the scene we're introduced to him. He's like, I'm going to quit. I'm not good enough for this. Bye.
Right.
And Steve Lawrence says, yeah, but what about your wife? And he's like, and he literally says, oh yeah, Angie. I didn't even consider her.
Right.
You all have some culpability here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look, he came back for her and couldn't even use his powers of deduction to realize that she was banging Steve Lawrence the entire time.
Right. And who?
Because I don't understand what. I just don't understand. I don't understand the ending at all. He's like, oh, I'm here. Okay. Question mark.
He's now I'm dead. I know the whole story. Like,
I didn't take it that way.
no.
It wasn't as overt as it wasn't as overt as it normally is with a show like this one.
Right.
Especially when it's written by Rod. Good old Rod. You know what I mean? That's more what I'm getting at. It's normally more overt. This was just like it needed 10 more seconds, 15 more seconds, one more line of dialogue, maybe. Like really, like one more line of just give us the intent behind Harvey Lembeck's character. That's all I'm saying.
And it's Steve Lawrence, God bless him, but he plays smarmy really well. I don't like him as a nice guy because I just don't think he's a nice guy. So if he was more smarmy and more, he's super sincere when he's talking with Harvey Lembeck in this episode, and then he's being just like a normal dude when he's scamming these rubes. I really wish he had laid it on way thicker. This is one occasion where I'm just like, overact, please overact.
Yeah, at least in the big fantastic ending. By the way, a fishing line strung to a wooden pedal that's clumsily shoved under a rug. Oh, that's foolproof. Good work, guys.
I like it. That's what you're so hung up on. Father Malone, you can barely see the strings, okay? Barely see the strings.
Yeah.
Look at this card I'm levitating here. You don't see the fishing wire at all. Where's the piece of wax on my thumb? Ooh.
If they're going to give us the abrupt ending where it's I'm back and I know the truth and that's our payoff, then at least they shouldn't be lame-brained right before it happens. They didn't need any of those effects. They needed her to go behind a door and do voices, and that was it. These people were already on the line.
Right.
I don't know. What are we supposed to take away from this? And that, you know what? Ultimately, they're being punished, if they're being punished at all, because it's very vague, but they're not being punished for fleecing grief-stricken people looking for any solace that they can grab onto.
Fucking deserve it, man. Come on.
Yep.
That's the tact. That's the angle our friend Rod is taking. Those poor bastards with a dead child. Fuck them. Like, fuck them. It's not their story, ultimately. It's the grifter's story.
Exactly.
The ghosts could have at least painted an A on their costumes, on their wardrobe, Steve and Maureen.
Why would you're giving Rod Serling much too much credit, sir? Literary devices? How dare you?
He knew a few. He knew his stuff, but God, man, he's faltering.
Yeah.
Faltering. But shame on Jeff Corey, by the way, for letting those accents go through those 1930s. Oh, I'm just a dizzy girl kind of thing.
I was really, really curious as to what accent Steve Lawrence was doing.
Steve Lawrence, which is all he needed to do, and all I wanted from him, and all I wanted from Harvey Lembeck was just Harvey Lembeck and that woman, just that from her. That's it. We don't have to pretend we're in fucking Playhouse 20 or whatever the fuck.
That's fair.
And now, Night Gallery's slightly distorted version of history, An Act of Chivalry.
An Act of Chivalry, written and directed by Jack Laird. He's now an auteur. This one stars Deidre Hall. Here's my description that I wrote down. Ugh.
Oh, boy.
I might have finally reached the moment of, okay, I can see why everyone was bagging on the blackouts for as long as they were. It's now piling up.
Come on. You're telling me that the episode is worse for it not just ending with the deer departed?
Okay.
Yeah.
When you put
See
it that way.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's all I'm saying. It's a moment of levity in an otherwise, first part of this episode's fine. Second part is middle of the road. This is a nice little note to go out on. At least it's not another universal monster.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that. Instead, it's just a skeleton.
Cheap! It's cheap, everybody!
Were people still fedora that heavily? Did it still look like Mad Men everywhere? What?
That's the thing.
I just like that it's just...
This is a period piece.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like how my favorite thing is that the fedora just has the wig essentially glued inside of it, and they just put it on top of a skeleton's head. They're not even trying. Hey, when they're being lazy, they're being lazy. And ladies and gentlemen, Rod Serling knows lazy.
Oh, this is all Jack, though. This is Jack Leonard.
His name is on every single one of these blackouts, more or less.
Pretty much. Him and Gene Kearney seem to be the main offenders. Alvin Sappinsley jumps in every once in a while.
Right. Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I got to say about this one.
I'm not even... We talked longer about it than we did the length.
I think your review is correct.
Yeah. All right, we're going to play a preview of our next episode, and we'll be right back to wrap up.
To the shoppers, the hunters, the sifters and the winnowers, to those of you who comprise that vast fraternity of picture watchers, we offer you this salon of the special and the supernatural. Painting number 1. It has to do with death. Usually the last chapter in every man's book of life. The ashes and the dust, the tomb, and the engraving on the stone. Death, the finale. But our first painting offers up a tale with the final curtain not quite the final curtain. There's an epilogue. We offer you now a little item called Cool Air. Tonight's first painting in the Night Gallery. We branch out a bit this evening and move a few feet away from the usual and get into the area of photography. Now, this painting here had best be viewed in a dark room because it conjures up the ghostly, the ghastly, and the ghoulish. It tells the story about a very remarkable device that offers up a vision as things are and a hellish vision of what they were and shall be. Our painting is called Camera Obscura. From the pen of Edgar Allan Poe, of More or Less, quoth the Raven.
That's right. On the next midnight viewing, we'll be taking a look at Season 2, Episode 12. That's broken into 3 segments: Cool Air, Camera Obscura, and Quoth the Raven. Until next time, what are you working on and where can people find it, Chris Stashu?
They can find it over at weirdingwaymedia.com. That's where you can hear me and so many other people, including our good friend, Father Malone, who does the audio bumpers for this great podcast network of ours. Isn't that... The dulcet tones of Father Malone are heard at the beginning of every single show, and you can find all those shows over at weirdingwaymedia.com.
How about you, Mike?
I keep hearing you guys doing this whole podcast thing. I think I should probably get into it one of these days. Maybe if I
You've got a great voice for it.
Oh, wow. Thanks. Maybe if you guys have room on this Weirding Way Media thing, I'll join you with that, if that's all right.
I heard the projection booth needs a new host. You want to step? Are you willing to step in?
Sure, sounds good. I'll take it. Sold.
As for me, what they said, it's all at weirdingwaymedia.com, everybody. Thank you all for joining us here at Midnight Viewing. The gallery is now closed.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.